Welcome to the Wonky Stitches. We're doing a voiceover because in my not very technical way, I managed to record my whole video without any sound. So what I'm doing is just showing you some clips of the video I made last week, and we're going to just carry on once I've shown you how I actually set this up. So this is some upholstery fabric, and I've just basically cut it into 2 strips. Okay, so this is what I've got so far. I have stitched the little fairy who's going to be my front cover, and I'm just attaching some neutral pieces along my strip of fabric. Now it's just like a snippet roll, only we're going to turn it into a book. So just grab out whatever colours you like. I'm just keeping my neutral for this one. You can do whatever you like. So yet another way of using up some scraps. I know, it's all I've ever got, and I do think my scrap pile is actually growing, not getting smaller. These are all my neutrals and sort of browns, so I think I'm going to put some of this on. It's all looking a bit pale. And I'm just basically just putting these down, and then I'm going to embellish on top. So I've decided that as I'm stitching this one down, I'm going to pop on a little butterfly. Oh yeah, I'm going to start embellishing already. I was going to wait, but you know, I'm a bit impatient. And this is going to go on here. I mean, imagine how nice that would look. If you didn't put anything on top of it, you could just do some random stitches inside. You could do like crosses in each of those little squares, or some satin stitches. But I've decided that I'm going to make this whole book just doing straight stitches, just to prove that it can be done and that beginners can do it. If all you can do is straight stitch, you can do this little book. Okay, and you don't even need to worry about the back because that's going to be covered. So just enjoy the stitching. Just let your mind wander while you're stitching. I'm sure mine did, which was why I forgot to turn the microphone up. But you know, these things happen. They don't happen very often, luckily. But this video was about 40 minutes long, and I had to cut it down because I was just waffling all the way through it like I usually do. So I thought I'd do this little bit first, and then I will jump forward and stitch with you for the rest of them. So I hope that you're all having a lovely day. I hope you've been getting some time to do some slow stitching and a bit of relaxation. Just tie this one off. Now we're running out of cotton. Just a little double knot at the back, and then just start again. You use the same colour, you can use a different colour. I'm using my blunt scissors things. I really must get some more. Okay, I'm choosing a completely different colour now to carry on, and that doesn't worry me at all. Just use up your scraps of cotton as well. If you've got a big bundle of cotton that you've picked up, like I know Lynn has, because she showed me a photo of this amazing lot she picked up. You can use just cotton, you can use embroidery thread, whatever you've got. Obviously, you know I have a little jar that I put all my scraps in. So sometimes they're only really little short pieces. And just use it all up. We don't like waste. We don't like waste on this channel. We just keep going with all the little bits and pieces. But this way, I thought I could make a bit of a dent into my neutrals. I was so tempted to do blue. I might do another blue one. I do love the blues. So onwards and upwards. Let's see if I can make this one work. I've checked it this time and everything's fine. So what I want to do is just carry on. This is as far as I got. And I finished off doing these in front of the TV. So I've got this edge that I'm going to tuck things behind. Honestly, it could only happen to me. So I've got this, which I think that's a bit pale. So let me try. Oh, that's quite nice. I quite like that. Next to the what? Let's put that on. And let's use something really contrasting. Oops, really contrasting. Let's get this green. I like this. And we're going to keep it really simple. And I'm just going to do more running stitches because it's all you need. I don't feel like doing anything complicated. So I'm just going to go round this. In fact, no, I'm not going to go round. I'm going to go up and down. I'm just decided that. And this is what this is all about. It's just having a bit of fun with your stitching. No rules. No, you have to do it this way. We don't do that. We just chilling and making knots in our thread. Whoop, whoop. Okay, and I'm going to go across and come back down the other side. And what I want to do is maybe keep them sort of together, you know, like where I've done the last one. Do that one. It might work, it might not. It might go pear-shaped. Now I hope everybody's okay. Thank you to all of my wonky stitchers who are commenting on videos and sharing their work in the Facebook group. It's absolutely wonderful to see all the inspiration, and I know that there's people who are watching who have no idea what I'm talking about. we have a Facebook group that I've set up, and it was really for Sally, and now Sally's finished, we have been actually sharing all our pages on there. But you know, as I said, Sally's finished and we're on to something else, but you can still just share whatever stitching you're up to on there. And we like wonky, so the wonkier the better. That's happening a lot lately. So, yeah, if you're new to slow stitching, then it's a great place to look and get some inspiration, as is my channel, because I do a lot of different things. Some of them work, some don't, but we don't mind. We just enjoy actually stitching just for the fun of it. If you are a stitcher who's done quilting, where you have to be very, very precise and no room for error, no wonky stitching, then try and come over and join us, because it's a whole new world, slow stitching, and you can just get away with doing whatever you want, which is my sort of philosophy. And I know it's hard. I'm quite glad I never learnt quilting, because I think I'm not a perfectionist. Well, I sort of am in a way, but not when it comes to my stitching, and probably not when it comes to my journals. I quite like grungy, so you know, mistakes and things. In fact, making mistakes is the way we learn, isn't it? So it's all good. I've just realised I don't need to go through every single time all the way to the back, because this is probably stuck on now. Yeah, so slight technical issues last week. Couldn't believe it when I went to edit the video. There was absolutely no sound. I was like, no. And I thought about doing a voiceover, and then I thought, oh, you know, once you've made the video, you just want to put it up. So I've sort of thought, well, we can just carry on. These things happen. Not very often. Surprisingly, not very often. I mean, I'd have thought with my IT skills that that might not work. But, oh, I've got a knot there. That's not good. Don't do that. I won't be able to get my needle through. Yeah, I thought with my technical skills that I Here we go. Now that looks quite good. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going over to this one. And I'm going to do the same all the way up here. I might do some different stitches in a minute, because you must be getting bored of just watching me do straight stitches. Let's learn a stitch. Should we learn a stitch? Or should we practice one of our ones we already know? I do want to sort of learn some new ones, but it does take me a while for them to sink in. There we go. All the way to the top. And I'm going to stop there. And I think, look how neat it is at the back. Well, that's not neat, but, you know, most of it's neat. And it doesn't matter, because we're going to put another piece over the top. I hope I explained that. I'll show you again in a minute what I mean, because they might not have got that from the video. So once this is done, I'll just recap. This is going to be the cover. Okay, that's the front cover, like that. And then what we're going to do is stitching all this and making it, and then we're going to stitch another one and put it on the back. And then when it's finished, it's just going to be like a little concertina book, like that. I know, the simplest book I think I'm going to ever make. And just using up all my sort of greys and browns. I did get this out, but I think it might not work. I might do a little tiny bit. Ooh, I could do a little tiny bit of it there. Look at that. That works. And this is what I mean. I'm just grabbed out scraps. Okay, so I'm just going to pop this one on. And this is all you need to do. Nothing fancy. Now, I can't remember what I was talking about on the last video, because you know me, I just waffle on. I did go for an interview yesterday for a different role within the same organisation, just a different role, but I don't know if I got it. I was a bit stressed out because we'd had a very, very hectic morning, and then I had to drive and get stuck in traffic going to the interview, and you know when you get somewhere and then you just forget all your notes. I forgot everything I was planned to say, and I know the questions are going to ask, and my mind kept going blank. So I don't know if I'm going to get it, but it doesn't matter because I've still got my job. It's not like I need to leave the job I'm at. I quite like working with the people that I work with. I just fancied a change. So we will see. Hoping to hear later today. They don't mess about. You know, they do let you know quite quickly, because there's nothing worse, is there? But I think I'm a bit too old to change jobs now. If I don't get this one, I'll just stay where I am till I retire and see how that goes. Because I don't think I can cope with the anxiety and the stress again. It did really stress me out, and I thought, why am I doing this? You know, it's more office based and not with patient facing. So dealing with like the elderly and the vulnerable. So that's why I went for it, because that's sort of where my empathies lie. So, but you know, well, you never know, do you? You think you've done badly, and then you know they said I'd done all right, but we'll see. I'm not holding out. So yeah. My friend tried really hard to calm me down. But I think there was like 3 of us taking phone calls and doing all the other jobs, obviously, that you have to do. And there was about 400 phone calls in the 5 hours that there was the morning. So yeah, it was quite full on. Too much for this old lady. Right, I think we're coming along. I'm loving it. I'm going to stitch that down over the top of there, but I want to finish this page off. Now I'm just looking to see what my last page is going to be. So once that's done, that isn't going to be the last page. Is that going to be... Oh, I need to work this out. Hang on. Logic brain kicking in now before I put that last bit in. So that would go like that. Like that. So it's got to go on there. So that one I found a coffee thing, which was, oh, there it is, which I thought was quite apt, and I'm going to put that one on there like that. So what I might do is I might put a pin in it so I remember, because otherwise I'll be trying it again just in case. Right, so that one I'm just going to do exactly the same. I've got a big piece here I can put on for the end, and then we can just embellish, which will be lovely. Right, I think I might embellish it as I go and then put on extra bits at the end. So quite like that. Oh no, I don't know. I haven't cut it. It's not a very straight piece, is it? Let's have a look. If I can tuck that under there, because I love that frilly bit. And I've still got some edge. I can just put something down there. That's better. And I want to put this on. So I'm gonna just trim it round just a bit. That'll do. Nothing too fancy. And chop with my obviously blunt little clippers, and I'm going to stitch that on. A very thin brown here, and what I might do is just round this like this. Just stitching. I haven't done anything exciting this week apart from the interview. That was too much excitement. But yeah, you know, sometimes you have just really quiet weeks when all you do is the stuff that you need to do. I have finished a journal, and I am thinking of quite a long project that we can do. I want to make another fabric book, and once I finish this, I think I want to start it. And it won't be an every week one. This will be one that we sort of do in sort of once a month or something like that. That we can just do. I don't know how long it's going to take. Could be 6 months. Could be a year. But we're just going to take our time with it, because it's going to take a while. But we're going to make a lovely big fabric book. So if you're interested in that, let me know in the comments, because I really want to do one. Okay, right. I might go round that again. Yeah, why not? I'm going to go round it again. Okay, just went round that, and I'm just going to finish off popping another bit over here, and I'm going to use some of this. I only want a bit. So what I'm hoping is this stuff, I think, frays really lovely. So I want to put it on the end, and then this edge be sort of more yeah, like that, fraying. Ooh, okay. What we'll do is just cut them. It's sort of a bit more frayed, and I'm just going to sew down there. There we go. And I think, yeah, it because I just want to hide where the piece was a different size. And you can do that. You just put another piece on top. So you can use up all your scraps. Yep, we're using our scraps again. And we're going to make this whole book. I've just decided we're going to make this whole book just doing straight stitches. What about that? Can you make a little book with just straight stitches? I think you can. And I think you can do it too. So if you want to go, just grab some old upholstery fabric or just something a bit thicker, and we're just going to go all the way across, I think. And then put some scraps on. Choose a colour scheme. I'm doing sort of browns and creams, just for a change. Usually I just put all the colours on, but I just thought it might look quite nice if I'd started using up some of my, move them out of the way, some of my colours together. And I make a big dent then in my little packs of extra bits. Oh. So doing it this way, you can actually make a bit of a dent in your scrap pile. Of course you don't have to. You can put on whatever colours you like. I'm not the stitching police. I just want to give you a few ideas that you can try. And when you're finished, you'll have a lovely little book. You can do whatever you like with it. Gift it to somebody. Or keep it. I've got so many now, I don't know what I'm going to do with them all. You know, when you just keep making books. Oh dear. Yeah, I don't know. I've got so many. It's a bit silly. It's a bit silly. Just keep stitching. Maybe I should make one. This is why I want to make one big project, like my sort of a fabric journal I want to make. So we are going to have a go at that, and it's going to be, like I said, quite a long project. Right, I think that'll do. I think it's on. We'll just... Now that's the first side started. Now I haven't finished this by a long way. I have, while I had to stop and have a chat with Millie while I was waiting for my phone to charge, and I stitched this on while I was chatting. So what I might do is just cover the background of this, and then next week we'll just add some more stitching on top. And I just think it just needs embellishing a bit. Like, we'll put these things on and wherever we want. And I've got this little thing that I made that we might put on. It's a bit big, but I think I'll start this. Maybe I'll just finish it off with you next week. But I'm sure you get the idea. Okay, and we'll do the embellishing bit next time. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's given you something new to try. And I'll see you all very soon, next week. Bye.